66 million years ago, the Earth was in the final days of the Mesozoic era, specifically during the late Cretaceous period. This was a time when colossal animals dominated the planet, and wherever one looked, behemoths could be found. On land, massive theropods and sauropods ruled, while in the waters, the enormous mosasaurs reigned supreme. Even the skies were claimed by giants, particularly a family of pterosaurs known as the Osdarchidae. This group was characterized by their incredibly long necks and legs, with members reaching staggering sizes. Of all the members of this family, one stands out as both the most famous and the most feared. Quetzalcoatlus, the largest known flying animal. The lesser-known giant, Quetzalcoatlus, is often celebrated as the largest flying animal. There is another contender that lived during the same period, but may have been even larger, Quetzalcoatlus. This massive pterosaur was discovered in the 1970s in Romania, when two large fossilized pieces of a skull and humerus were found by a student-led excavation team. Initially, paleontologists mistook the bones for those of a large theropod dinosaur, but upon closer inspection, they realized they belonged to a giant pterosaur. Despite the impressive size of its fossils, Quetzalcoatlus remained relatively unknown until 2002, when it was officially named Quetzalcoatlus thambus, with Hatzog referring to the island it once inhabited, and thambus meaning winged monster in reference to its enormous size. Size and physical characteristics was a true titan in the skies. Paleontologists estimate that this pterosaur had a wingspan similar to that of Quetzalcoatlus, typically thought to be around 11 meters, 36 feet. However, some researchers believe that Quetzalcoatlus may have exceeded this size, with a wingspan potentially reaching up to 12 meters, 39 feet, the largest of any known pterosaur or bird. Unlike many of its relatives, Quetzalcoatlus was extremely robust, with a body built like a tank. Standing at an impressive height of 5 meters, 16.5 feet, similar to the height of a giraffe, it was likely much heavier than Quetzalcoatlus, though. Its exact weight remains unknown. This pterosaur's sheer size and robustness make it one of the largest flying creatures to have ever existed, possibly even the largest terrestrial predator in Europe at the time. Why did it grow so large? The environment of Quetzalcoatlus played a significant role in its gigantism. During the late Cretaceous, Europe was an archipelago of islands, one of which was Hateg Islanda, landmass comparable in size to Ireland, separated by over 300 kilometers, 190 miles of ocean from other landmasses. This island was highly isolated, with few predators and no giant theropods to compete with. This allowed Quetzalcoatlus to grow to massive proportions, as it had no significant threats to contend with. In addition to this lack of competition, Quetzalcoatlus developed a massive skull, measuring 2.5 meters, 8 feet, 2 inches in length, one of the largest skulls of any non-marine animal. Unlike many pterosaurs, whose skulls were relatively lightweight and fragile, the skull of Quetzalcoatlus was robust, with large ridges suggesting heavy muscle attachment. This sturdy construction may have helped the pterosaur in both feeding and defense. A dinosaur Quetzalcoatlus was likely an apex predator in its ecosystem. Paleontologists believe it preyed on large animals, possibly even dinosaurs, which were smaller on the island due to limited resources. The presence of dwarf dinosaurs, such as small Hadrosaurus and even miniature Titanosaurs, suggests that Quetzalcoatlus could have been a predator of juveniles or even adult dinosaurs. The pterosaur's giant, powerful skull was likely its primary weapon for hunting. It may have used its skull to stab or bludgeon prey, killing animals too large to swallow whole. In addition to dinosaurs, Quetzalcoatlus would have likely preyed on other animals that lived on the island, such as smaller reptiles and mammals. Flight capabilities. Despite its immense size, Quetzalcoatlus was capable of flight. Its wings were fully developed, and their structure was similar to that of other flying pterosaurs. However, because of its robust body, it is believed that it was not the most efficient flyer for long distances. Recent studies suggest that, due to its large size, it could only fly for short distances before needing to rest. Its flight was likely used primarily for navigation and hunting, helping Quetzalcoatlus locate prey and traverse the island. The internal structure of its bones particularly the hollow spaces within its skull and wings, would have helped reduce its weight, allowing it to become airborne despite its massive size. The environment of Hatig Island Hatzogzigs lived in a lush, subtropical environment with dense forests and numerous rivers and streams. This tropical climate would have supported a variety of life, including dwarf dinosaurs, small reptiles, and various species of plants. The island's isolation meant that the pterosaur had no rivals in terms of size, making it the top predator both on land and in the skies. Coexistence with dwarf dinosaur Hatig Island was home to a variety of unique and small dinosaur species, many of which were dwarves due to the island's limited resources. Some of the notable dinosaurs that lived on the island include the Magrosaurus, Telmatosaurus, Zalmoxis, Struthiosaurus, and others. These small dinosaurs, along with non-dinosaurian species like Allodosaurus and Durodon, would have formed the prey base for Hatzegopteryx. The end of Hatzegopteryphalanter, the reign of Hatzegopteryx, came to a sudden and violent end with the asteroid impact that caused the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event. This catastrophic event wiped out the non-avian dinosaurs and all pterosaurs, including Hatzegopteryx, marking the end of an era for these giants.